Good morning, everyone. It is Saturday, January 28th, 2023. And right now, using Google Earth, we're going to go back in memory lane for a little while. And back when I was 16 years old, I used to live right here. Well, you say, well, there's nothing there, Eugene. Well, there used to be. There used to be a house right there. And I'll go down on the street and I'll show you the older picture. The house finally burnt down. I'll show you a picture of the house we lived in after it caught on fire, though. Right there's the house we lived in back in the mid-80s. One morning back in 1987, I got up real early, about 6-something in the morning. I packed some breakfast and some eggs in a little bitty frying pan, and bagged it up and everything I needed to cook me a breakfast, and I loaded on my bike. And I left the little house here that we lived in, got on my bike, rode around this driveway right here, got on this road here and headed out. And I was determined I was going to do some hiking that day, and so I went. And did a lot of traveling and ended up come up this way right here and ditched my bike right there. Took my backpack with all my goodies in it, hid my bike in under all this brush here. Let me see if I can get a side view of where I hid my bike. Hid my bike in here somewhere, possibly in here somewhere. And I headed this way. This is the way I headed. And I'll show you where I went. And so after I hid my bike, I started walking. And this mountain here that I'm going up is 3,200 and some feet, 300 and some feet high. So it took me a while to hike this. And I started, I don't know, 6:30, 7 something in the morning. And I headed up through here. Then I made a left and headed up this way. And I walked and walked and walked. You can't really see the terrain as well, but somewhere through here I actually stopped, and maybe somewhere through here in this little curve here, I actually stopped and sat down and made my breakfast. Built me a little fire, fried me a couple of eggs, took me some orange juice or something to drink, maybe my coffee, and just sat around and enjoyed the outdoors. Here I was, 16 years old. I didn't know what I was doing, but I was safe. Fixed me a little breakfast and sat around, and probably a hungry bear somewhere up through here was, coming after me, and I had no clue. But anyway, I cleaned up my mess, made sure the fire was put out, and journeyed on. I headed up this way, and it got really steep through here. Headed, walked and walked and walked and walked and walked. Finally, I noticed I was getting somewhere. Thought I was anyway. And walked and walked. So around 12, something after 12 that day, I made it to the very top of Peak's Knob as we call it here. And I made it to the very top. And there's a tower up here, and you can get in that lookout tower, and you can look at all the land around you. So that's what we're going to do right now. I'm going to get down on ground view, and I'm going to do a 380, 360 or whatever, 380 of everything around us. So here's looking off the top of Peaks Knob. This is kind of what I saw when I was up there. I mean, right down, there's the lake, for goodness sakes, and that's like several miles away. You can see everything. You see, look distantly, you can see that is actually a distant mountain range. And when you're on top of this mountain, I mean, you have the view of a lifetime. I'll go up here so you can see over top of the other side. But when you're in the lookout tower, you don't need to go to the edge of the mountain like this to see. Right there's the big city of Pewville. I lived way over here somewhere at the time. There's where I rode my bicycle from. Wow. Several miles. We'll go to the very top up here. Well, I thought we would anyway. But anyway, that's my journey I took when I was about 16 years old. Getting up one morning, just heading out. Just things I just got in my head that I had to do, and I had to conquer this mountain. So 3,200 or 3,300 feet later, or 3,309 feet later, I was, on top of this mountain, probably trespassing. But I didn't care. There's the lake. And I just didn't care, and I picked my breakfast, and I lived free, wild, and on the prairie. Let's look at these pictures if they'll open. Here we go, it's loading. There we are. Top of Peaks Knob, Pulaski, Virginia. 16-year-old boy out learning, out and about, learning about outside, learning about the outdoors. And how did I do it? I got off my lazy butt and got out of bed and did something. That's how I viewed it. Nice, huh? Thank y'all for joining me on this escapade through the mountains of Virginia on top of Peaks Knob. Have a great day. God bless.